2024 has been an incredible year for gaming with some massive AAA releases, but today I'm here to talk about some amazing games that might have flown under your radar. These smaller games may not have the hype of big-name titles, but trust me, they offer unique experiences you don't want to miss. So without further ado, let's dive into 10 amazing smaller games of 2024 you might have missed. Kicking things off, we have Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. Now, I'm a sucker for any game that blends dark emotional narratives with intense action. Developed by Don't Nod, the same studio that brought us Life is Strange, this game is an action RPG that will hit you right in the feels. You play as Red Mac Wraith and his partner Antea, except there's a twist. Antea is a ghost, and together you're working as ghost hunters. What I personally love about this game is the dual world mechanic. Antea is stuck in the ghostly plane and you have to switch between the living and dead realms to solve puzzles and fight terrifying spirits. The emotional weight of their relationship as they try to help lost souls while Antea herself is fading away is a narrative hook that sets this game apart. It's haunting in every sense of the word. If you enjoy story-driven games with a supernatural edge, you need to give this one a shot.
I have another insight. Change attack. Change targets. Tormented first.
Not strong enough.
It's on you.
Next we have the Thaumaturge, and let me tell you, this game surprised me. It's set in 1905 Warsaw, a city dripping with history, but this is not your typical historical RPG. You play as a Thaumaturge, someone who can summon Salutor's mystical creatures that alter reality. Imagine a mix of Disco Elysium and Divinity Original Sin, but with a dark magical twist. What grabbed my attention is how much depth there is to the world and characters. Every decision you make seems to have some real weight behind it, and summoning different Salutors in combat gives the game a unique, almost puzzle-like feel. The tactical combat keeps you on your toes, and the game's dark, moody atmosphere really makes the whole experience immersive. If you love deep, complex RPGs with morally gray choices, this is a must-play. Moving on to something with a little more speed and action, let's talk about Nine Sols. This 2D action platformer takes heavy inspiration from traditional Chinese mythology but gives it a cyberpunk twist. Think Sekiro meets Hollow Knight and you're not far off. The game's combat is intense, parry-based combat that rewards precise timing, and the platforming is just as tight. What really sold me, though, is the story. It's a beautifully hand-drawn world where technology and tradition collide. It's challenging, it's emotional, and if you're into games with high skill ceilings, this game will absolutely pull you in. For me, it was the art direction and the music that made it impossible to put down. The world just feels alive and brimming with secrets.
Oh,
Now, if you've been a fan of Prince of Persia like I have since the early days, you're going to be excited about the Rogue Prince of Persia. This one takes the classic franchise and reinvents it as a roguelike. I'll admit I was skeptical at first, turning such a beloved action platformer into a roguelike, but let me tell you, it works. You'll be running, jumping, and sword slashing your way through procedurally generated levels. And the parkour mechanics? They feel just as fluid and satisfying as the original games. What I personally love about this is that every run feels fresh. You never know what traps or enemies await you. It's a game that rewards mastering its mechanics while offering that same sense of exploration and wonder that made the original Prince of Persia games so special. Children of the Sun is a tactical puzzle shooter game developed by Renee Rother and published by Devolver Digital. Released on April 9th, 2024, the game follows a gripping storyline where you control a single bullet to exact revenge on a sinister cult. In this game, you play as the girl who is on a mission to dismantle the cult that ruined her life. The gameplay combines tactical sniping, puzzle solving, and light stealth elements. Each level requires you to guide your bullet through complex environments to take down cultists and trigger traps. The game has received positive reviews for its unique mechanics and engaging narrative. If you enjoy games that mix strategy with action, this might be a great choice for you. Now, if you're in the mood for something totally different and quirky, look no further than Another Crab's Treasure. This game is an underwater Souls-like, and yes, you heard that right, you play as a crab. But don't let the cute exterior fool you, this game is tough. You'll be exploring the ocean floor, collecting discarded objects as makeshift armor while fighting off all sorts of marine creatures. The combat is surprisingly deep, with each enemy presenting a unique challenge. Personally, I love the mix of humor and difficulty here. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but still manages to scratch that itch for a tough action game. It's a game that doesn't shy away from being weird, and that's exactly why it's on my list. Dark and Darker is next, and for anyone who loves old-school dungeon crawlers with a modern twist, this one's a gem. You team up with friends to dive into dark, dangerous dungeons filled with monsters, loot, and, get this, other players. That's right, this game mixes PvPvE in a way that's both exhilarating and terrifying. The stakes are high, you're not only battling AI monsters, but other players looking to take your loot. What keeps me coming back to this game is the intense feeling of dread and excitement as you dive deeper into the dungeon, knowing full well you could lose it all at any moment. It's a game that rewards strategy and skill, and if you love games that push you to your limits, Dark and Darker is a must-try. Now let's get into Anomaly Agent, a fast-paced sci-fi action platformer with some seriously cool pixel art. You play as a mysterious agent tasked with tracking down reality-bending anomalies in the combat. It's slick, quick, and oh so satisfying. The blend of cyberpunk aesthetics with retro visuals really grabbed me. What makes Anomaly Agent special for me is how well it balances the chaotic, frenetic action with a deep, engaging story about the nature of reality. It reminds me a bit of Katana Zero with its fast-paced combat, but the added layer of narrative depth sets it apart. If you love pixel art games with killer gameplay and a twisty sci-fi narrative, you'll absolutely dig this one. Up next is Manor Lords, and this is for all my strategy fans out there. It's a medieval city building game that lets you manage your town's economy, politics, and even its military. What really impresses me about this game is the attention to historical accuracy. Everything from the architecture to the way your villagers work the land feels grounded in reality. The game also features large-scale battles that are on par with games like Total War. If you're someone who loves diving into complex strategy games, managing resources, and watching your village grow into a thriving medieval town, this is one you can't afford to miss. Plus, the sense of satisfaction when you win a massive battle feels incredible. Finally, we have Pacific Drive, a first-person driving survival game that's all about surviving in the Pacific Northwest exclusion zone. The game blends road trip vibes with spooky supernatural occurrences, and you're constantly upgrading your car to survive the strange anomalies that plague the land. What really hooked me is the way the game creates a tense, eerie atmosphere as you drive through its ever-changing landscapes. It's one part survival, one part mystery, and it's a totally unique experience. The game's sense of exploration and the way your car becomes your lifeline is something I've never quite experienced before. If you're looking for a survival game that doesn't play by the usual rules, Pacific Drive should definitely be on your radar. So there you have it, 10 amazing smaller games from 2024 that you might have missed but absolutely shouldn't. Whether you're looking for intense combat, emotional stories, or just something new and different, these games have it all. Let me know in the comments which one caught your eye or if there's a hidden gem you think deserves a shout out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell for more content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.